Mike Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent and teaching instructor. Welcome to my YouTube station. It's the home of the 5 minute or less video. I can tell you everything you need to know within 5 minutes. I've worked at IRS for a decade. I've been in private practice defending people for 4 decades. I've been doing this for 50 years. I'm an expert in IRS resolution matters. I have a whole team of former IRS agents on staff. I've been on the news a number of times. You can look at my video at 777irs.com. I have a number of TV interviews. I do these YouTubes really for 3 reasons. So you, in fact, can learn inside information from former IRS agents so you don't get ripped off by other people. That's big. I started this station 2 years ago because there was so much garbage out there. There's these people with ties and these fake backgrounds, and they're making you think like they have the authority of the world. But after doing this for 50 years, I see through most of the junk, in fact, that's out there. And I want to inform you lastly about stuff. So anyway, with that, I want to make this video and tell you why using a former IRS agent on a collection or audit case will change the face of your case, and why we know more really than other people. It's important to understand this. You could do the work yourself if you feel confident and you got the information that IRS wants. Most people don't, and that's the problem. The other thing is they don't have the money to hire professionals, and they don't know what to do, and they're stuck. The reason you want to use former IRS agents, and I'm not patting myself on the back, I have tax attorneys and CPAs and enrolled agents on staff. When you call me, I give the case to the person at our firm that does what I think does the best work in that area. But the reason you want to use a former IRS agent is we know the standards, we know how the negotiation works, we know how they're going to work the back end of this case, and we know what their tolerances are on cases like this. We really do. On offers and compromise, for instance, we know some tricks that we can use to go ahead and make sure your debt is lowered. I taught the offer and compromise program, so I certainly know what I'm talking about. Just on an IRS audit, for instance, we know some of the limitations, the negotiation factors, and where IRS will bend or where they won't bend. We know that. We try to keep the case to 1 year, not expanding it for 3 years. We know so much more of the background of cases and actually how IRS will negotiate every single case. We know that on every single case. We can break down tough revenue officers or revenue agents because we know the job they have. So if you have a problem, there's nothing wrong with using your own people that you have. I will tell you, after doing this for 50 years, and I think my firm has over 250 years of IRS experience, there's nothing like hiring a former IRS agent to do your work. Now, let me just tell you that so I clarify this with you. A former IRS agent needs to be worked in the division that you have your problem in. For instance, I'm a revenue officer. I wouldn't work an IRS audit case. I would hand that over to a former CPA, revenue agent, appellate agent who would work that case. If you have a collection case, I'd get myself or Peter or Julie to work the case. So your case really would be matched up with a professional in that particular industry. We don't have anybody who hasn't worked in one division at least 10 years. Some of them are 38 years, 30, 40. We have a whole team really of former IRS agents. So like I said, there's nothing wrong with hiring anybody else. But when you worked as many cases as we have, we actually know the standards and exactly how IRS is negotiated. And generally, we'll be able to tell you how the case is going to close on the initial consultation. The only time we can't do that, being truly honest, is if you got an audit going on and we haven't reviewed your records, we can't tell you. We also know when to take the case to appeals and when to fold them because we know we got the best deal. Anyway, that's the honest truth. If you like this video, please give me a subscription. I appreciate it. If you have a question for me, stick it up on YouTube. And on comments, and I'll try to get to it as soon as I can. Thank you very much.